All right, so I actually became aware of what we're going to talk about now with Mark Wahlberg because Paulie sent us a tweet. And Paulie was like, your boy's blowing up so much that he's on Entertainment Weekly. Maybe you were featured on some of the national entertainment
What's
shows.
going on? What are you doing,
What happened
Kevin?
between you and Mark Wahlberg?
All right, so I'll set the story, because the story itself and how it all happened is crazier than the video that occurred. So basically what you're referring to, for people who are just listening now and finding out, Mark Wahlberg directed a remake of the Spice Girls video Wannabe with me and 4 of my other colleagues who work from around the country. We were there interviewing him for the movie Transformers. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. So we were there interviewing him for Transformers. And what happened was, and this is the story. I was in the hallway getting ready to interview Mark Wahlberg, and my buddy comes up to me, my buddy Andrew, and he's like, "Hey, Kevin, do you know that at the end of this hallway they filmed the Spice Girls video for Wannabe?" I'm like, "I didn't know that." And I looked down the hallway, and I'm like, "I do recognize those stairs." So I went back and watched the video, and I'm like, I found the scene. So when I walked into Wahlberg's room, I just sat down. I had about 15 seconds or so before the interview started, and I was like, "Hey, did you know that the hallway down there, that's where they filmed the Spice Girls video?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah. I've been trying to convince my buddies to do it all morning long, and none of them will do it. Like, no one wants to get in front of the camera and do this goofy dance." I don't know if you guys know this, but Wahlberg literally travels with an entourage. I mean, the show is not... The show is based on him. He travels with like 3 or 4 guys. I see them every single time I interview him. It's like one of them's a childhood best friend he's known since he was 10. Another guy he's known for many, many years. So he actually has these friends with him. It's funny because like you watch the show, and that's how Vincent Chase was. So I get up to the interview, I leave the room, and I see 2 of his friends sitting outside the room. I'm like, "Hey, Mark Wahlberg said he wants to do this video. I'm completely in for this." And his 2 friends are like laughing and joking, like they're not going to do it. It's a stupid idea. It turns out that one of his friends told me that Donnie Wahlberg, Mark's brother, has a bet with him that if he can get Mark Wahlberg to dance or sing on camera, and I could be botching the exact details of this, but he wins a bet of $1 million. So that's why Mark Wahlberg hasn't really done any singing and dancing on camera since I don't remember the last time he did it. So the guy's like, "There's no way Mark Wahlberg's going to do this. This is not going to happen." I'm like, "Okay." So I later find out that Mark Wahlberg just directed this video in it.
Mm-hmm.
So an hour or so goes by. His buddy comes back downstairs named Jonathan and looks at me and says, "All right, Wahlberg's ready. Give us 5 or 10, get 5 of your friends, meet at the stairs, we'll direct the video." First of all, this has nothing to do with me. The actual video itself is, the story is that Wahlberg redirected a video. It has nothing to do with me.
Right,
It's just,
right. Of course, because you're not...
One of the 5.
It's not 5 journalists are dancing Spice Girls and calling themselves Spice Boys. Because that's what Entertainment Weekly wrote, not about Mark Wahlberg directing.
So wait a second. So all right. So now Mark Wahlberg shows up. I've seen the behind the scenes.
I don't even
It looks like his directing is he just has a cell phone camera and you guys dance for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He's just entertaining himself with like a prank.
What's in
because
it for
he probably, by the way,
what's in it for him?
What's in it for him is he wants these guys not to talk about how terrible Transformers is.
Is it really bad?
Probably.
Is that true,
No,
Kev?
that's not what happened. I'll get into no, it's nothing to do with that whatsoever. Dude, think about this for a second. Mark Wahlberg is a businessman, so all he ever does is think about how can I expand my brand. This is a specific thing that he knew would probably go viral and it would bring attention to the movie. That's exactly what he thought, probably. I mean, I never spoke to him about it specifically and what his mind was thinking. This was Mark Wahlberg's idea, nothing to do with me whatsoever.
Except you brought it up to him. You brought it up to him in the small talk leading up to the interview.
Yeah, but all I said to him was, "Hey, did you know the stairs are down there?" I had no intention of ever filming a video with him. That was completely his idea.
Okay, get to the end of the story.
Completely his idea. So anyway, so basically he ends up walking, he ends up coming down 20 minutes later, and like we kind of capture him like before he walks into his room and says, "Okay, let's do this." So buddy of mine said the stairs are below the stairs where we currently were. So Wahlberg literally, you don't see this in the video, but he walked down the stairs with us, and we were talking about the shots, the way it was going to be directed. He was totally in on the whole bit. He filmed the entire thing on his own camera, and then he like tweeted it out, all these things. Dude, I'm telling you, and before I got cut off, he's a businessman. He knows doing this will bring attention to his movie, and that's why he probably did it. But that's what happened. It had nothing to do with me whatsoever. I had no
During your
intention
actual interview with him, after you brought up the steps in 15 seconds, and you had probably 5 minutes with Mark Wahlberg, what did you ask him?
The only thing I asked him in the interview was about his workout plan, how he got into shape after 3 weeks of shooting the movie Patriots Day. Then I asked him about product placement. Then I asked him about Wahlburgers coming to D.C. So everything, nothing to do with me whatsoever. The whole interview was about him.
Okay.
All about him.
Yeah, none of those questions had to do with the
No bit.
movie.
Because the movie
Sounds like the movie
Kevin
stinks.
knows the movie stinks.
Is that what you do when the movie
No,
sucks?
dude,
You
I
ask
like-
about Wahlburgers?
No, I like Transformers. No, you're missing the point. I asked him 5 or 6 questions. I just gave you 3 of them just now. The other 3 were about like the special effects.
Hold
of
on,
Bumblebee,
Kevin.
How yeah.
Did you like the original Transformers or Transformers The Last Night with Mark Wahlberg?
Well, I'm under embargo. I can't review last night.
Got it.